Y'all remember the story a few years ago? It was a kid in Florida, and did he end up enrolling at Miami? He ended up enrolling at one of the schools in Florida. Maybe I shouldn't be such a lazy slob and should have looked this information up ahead of time. Instead, I just grabbed my phone and I'm going to start yelling into it like I normally do. Anyway, there was a high school kid was being recruited. Ended up signing with a team in Florida. Well, while he was in high school, he had created a YouTube channel. And if I remember right, the YouTube channel didn't have anything to do with football at all. It was totally unrelated to his athletic career. Well, the NCAA made him shut the channel down. The channel was monetized, and the potential for, I guess, whatever. The NCAA said, nope, if you're a college football player, you can't have a YouTube channel. Got to shut it down. And it wasn't a huge story at the time. It was a huge story to me because of how involved I am in the college football community on YouTube. And it was just one of those things where I was like, man, this just doesn't seem right. Kind of regardless of where you fall on the players being paid issue or name, image, and likeness issue or whatever, this just seems like a step too far. Anyway, the story never gained a whole lot of traction. I remember seeing a couple of articles about it when it happened, and I think I talked about it when it happened, and that was about it. Well, of course, now the name, image, and likeness rules have changed or are starting to change depending on what state you're in and things like that. And I never put the connection together. And we've talked a ton on this channel and every college football channel in the last couple of months about name, image, and likeness rules and what people like about it or don't like or whatever. And I never made the connection between that and players being able to have their own YouTube channel now. But I'm assuming that now college football players can have their own YouTube channel. Now, I don't know. I don't know how many will do it or are going to do it or are planning on doing it or already doing it or what. I also don't know. I guess a college, I don't think a college could put a rule in place saying we don't want any of our players to have YouTube channels. I don't think. But anyway, I never made that connection. But that opens up a lot of interesting possibilities, doesn't it? Think about some of these charismatic college players with sort of over-the-top personalities. They could have YouTube channels soon. I was on Facebook earlier today, and I'm in a whole bunch of college football groups on Facebook, literally hundreds, and I'm not exaggerating. One of the groups that I'm in had a post from a guy. I might put the post up. I might put a screenshot of the post up. Anyway, so if you're seeing it now, you're seeing it. His name is Micah Cooper. He was a running back for Oklahoma State under Mike Gundy in 2019 and 2020. I'm not going to tell his whole story, and I'll tell you why in a second. Anyway, he was a running back at Oklahoma State for the last 2 years. Didn't play a whole lot because he was behind Chuba Hubbard, who, of course, is one of the best running backs in college football the last couple of years. Anyway, he graduated, and he's got a year of eligibility left, so he's transferring. Anyway, more on that in a second. He made a post in one of these groups that I'm in, sort of like you know what an AMA post is on Reddit, an Ask Me Anything? Basically, it was an Ask Me Anything post. If you got questions about behind-the-scenes stuff at, Power 5 schools or whatever, let me know. And there's literally hundreds of comments on the post and some very interesting questions, and he answered just about every single one of them. Honestly, answered them honestly, the best that I could tell. There's some questions on there where they're asking him, about players getting paid or given cars or things like that. He says he's never seen anything like that. Anyway, a lot of interesting questions and answers. Point of this video is this. He has started a YouTube channel. He's in the transfer portal, so he doesn't know where he's going to end up yet for the 2021 season, but he's in the transfer portal, and he has a YouTube channel. He just started it. And I'm going to put a link to his channel in his first video in the description of this video and in the pinned comment of this video. You guys check him out. Well, watch the one video he has up. He's basically he's going to document the last year of his college career on YouTube. And he's got the first episode out already. And I watched it, and it's interesting. And the first episode kind of details his backstory, which is what I was saying a minute ago. I'm not going to say too much about his backstory because I want you guys to watch the video. Subscribe to this guy. This guy, like I said, in the question and answer thing he did on Facebook, he seemed like an open and honest guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know him. I left a comment on his thing asking him to come on the live show with me. I said, I'll get you some subscribers. Come on the live show. But what do y'all think about that? It's interesting, isn't it? And even if you don't know who Micah Cooper is, you're not an Oklahoma State fan, you're not a Big 12 fan, whatever the case, what do you think about the potential of players, college players, having their own YouTube channel now? It's an interesting thing to think about, right? I don't think any coaches or schools could prevent it. Now, obviously, coaches and schools can restrict where a player can film. I wouldn't expect to see a player with his own YouTube channel uploading practice video. Clearly things like that are going to be controlled by the school and the coach. But I think we could get some interesting channels if some of these players with these, over-the-top personalities were to go to work on a YouTube channel. And again, with the name, image, and likeness rules changing, this is something I never made the connection to in all the discussions that we've had about name, image, and likeness and players having the opportunity to capitalize on their college football careers. What do y'all think about that? It's pretty interesting. Whoever your favorite team is, if you could pick one player on this year's team off of your favorite team and say, man, I wish they would start their own YouTube channel, who would it be? This guy's not on Georgia right now, but I'll tell you, what if Rodrigo Blankenship would have started his own YouTube channel when he was at UJ? Wouldn't we have watched that? Shit, I would have. I would have been subscribed and the notifications bell turned on. I'd have watched every hot rod video he uploaded. As far as who's on the team now, well, George Pickens is injured, but he's probably the most over-the-top character on Georgia's team right now. I'd love to. Shit. Wouldn't you love to see a George Pickens YouTube channel? Who else? I don't know. Somebody like Zamir White, he seems really shy if you've ever seen like a Zamir White interview. So a player like that wouldn't be somebody I would expect to maybe start a YouTube channel. But, some of the more flamboyant players on the team. So who's your favorite team? And who on your team right now are you sitting there going, man, I wish he would start a YouTube channel? Let me know. And let me know what you think about this in general. The possibility of college football players having YouTube channels. Could be interesting. Have a good morning.